Wicca, what's up, everybody?
Hello, hello.
Welcome to the podcast. The podcast that you love. You all love so much.
That is why I hate you.
Da-da-da-da.
So I got something to admit. I haven't even published the last episode yet. And here we are
Oh my
recording this
God.
episode. So that, Noel's good news for these listeners because they're going to get two podcasts at the same time now. Because I'm going to just publish both of them at the same time. We actually have some podcast issues I haven't discussed with you, and we're going to discuss them live on air now.
Oh, great. Okay, let's go.
Our podcast distributor is going away as of the end of the month. They're as of the end of August, they're officially closing. So I have to find a new podcast host, and I'm trying to decide between two things. So we're a little inside baseball here. We use this company called Bcast, and the reason we use it is because there's this company called AppSumo. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of it, but AppSumo has like newish digital products, like software. A lot of it's almost all online software for really good prices for lifetime deals. So instead of you paying, like, say you want to use Twitter for $11 a month, right? Instead of paying that subscription fee that you would pay to use the platform, when they launch, they do these lifetime deals, and it's like $50 and you have a subscription for life. You never have to pay a monthly fee. That way they can get a bunch of users on board and increase their potential value, blah, 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 blah. So like there's a new podcast platform for distribution on AppSumo right now that looks really good. It has all these cool tools and shit built in, and it's like $50 for a lifetime deal, but it's like, well, what if this happens again? However, this one lasted like 2 years, so I got 2 years.
No, it lasted quite a while. That's not bad.
The plus side is they're not just dumping it. It's not just like, sorry, we're closed now. They're giving people time to get their podcast migrated over to another platform, and they're going to leave redirects up for the RSS feeds. So our current RSS feed will redirect to our new RSS feed. So anything that uses the old one will still be able to pick up the new one, which means
that's really helpful. That's what I was worried about.
Essentially means any podcast platform you use that we're on, regardless of whether or not we update the URL, it's still going to work. So because it's for us to go and update the podcast URL with every podcast distributor out there will be a lot of work. I don't know if like the new software we get will do that automatically for us or what. I don't know. So that's the gist of it. So I'm trying to figure out if we do that or if I just go with like Acast, which is just a standard. I think
that's
Spotify,
the most typical one, right?
Yeah, I think Spotify actually owns or sponsors that. Do I just go with one of those? So I don't know. I'm going to make that decision shortly here. I'll probably go with the lifetime access one because it has all these great features and stuff on top of being free after I paid the $49.
You might be able to get like more out of it that way.
Yeah, it looks like it's got a lot of cool tools. And you know what? If it lasts for 2 years and then it shuts down, I got another 2 years out of it. So I don't know. But just an alert for you guys. If for some reason you haven't seen new episodes for a while, well, it's been a couple weeks here it is. But if something doesn't work or if you're having trouble finding episodes, you can always go to the website atiwihy.com. I'll play the jingle.
atiwihy.com.
You can always go there to find out what's happening. If the buttons will make sure redirect wherever. If for some reason we have a new iTunes listing or something like that, we'll make sure all the buttons redirect to the appropriate listings on the website, and you'll always be able to listen there, and any news will be there. So just in case, remember you can go to the website. I just wanted to get that off and make sure that was clear to everybody ahead of time.
No, that's a perfect thing to bring up, to be honest.
Yep. Yeah, so we'll take care of it one way or other. It'll be taken care of. My hope is it's seamless and nobody notices the difference. But if there's anything that needs to change, it'll be on the website. It'll be on the socials, and you'll be able to check there. Here goes the dog barking her ass off in the background already.
Yep, she does it every time.
Well, it's just going to be par for the course. Anyway, so what's going on with you?
I mean, I'm here with the kids all the time. That is it. There's nothing really special. I did have I think I mentioned more tree trouble, but that's been dealt with now.
Yeah,
We're
that's
still
kind
looking
of.
at houses.
Oh, you're looking at houses now?
Typical. Yeah,
I
I
didn't
mean
even.
we've been on and off.
Oh, that's true.
but
You had been on and off.
Yeah, it's mainly for schooling for our daughter. We've been interviewing schools and all these different things. So
Right.
life is just kind of moving forward while inwardly stagnating.
Yeah, you're literally you're
Yeah,
just
'cause,
home with
like,
your kids
just-
all day, every day.
Things have just been weird. I've been getting weird stomach viruses recently. I don't know if it's something circulating in the house or if I'm poisoning myself with something and I just don't know it.
I mean, it's possible. I hope you're not. What are you? You're secretly like falling asleep and subconsciously like sleepwalking and poisoning yourself. You could just drink some Drano while you sleep.
Yeah,
Get me out
I'm
of
just
this.
microdosing poison subconsciously.
Yeah. Who knows? It could be. I get it though. You're just stuck. I have my wife's a teacher, so she's off all summer too, and so
Yeah.
she's while I've been able to get stuff done, work and stuff, she's been taking the kids out of the house and bring them to do shit. Although like the last week's been kind of stagnant because she brings them to her mother-in-law's a lot to swim.
Yeah.
Because they have a pool, but her mother-in-law's been sick for like, I don't know, 5 or 6 days now. So, oh my God, this dog's just going to keep going, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
Yes, she will.
So, at least I've got that release.
Well, unfortunately, with that, it has caused me to now sit on Instagram more often, which is the worst thing I could fucking do to myself. Because I said I was going to take a break off the internet, and I did for about 4 days.
Yeah, 4 days. That's it.
I lasted about 4 days.
That was in our last episode. So people are going to listen to these back to back and hear you say you're going to take a break, and then they're going to hear you immediately in the next episode say,
well, because again,
you lasted 4 days.
I'm home with the kids all day, and it's been like 98 degrees or something like that. I'm not going outside in that. I'm sorry.
What else are you supposed to do?
I will flat out die.
What else are you going to do?
It's like, well, spend time with your kids. I'm literally doing that at all times.
Right.
I need some kind of break, especially if I go on the toilet. I'm sorry. So,
oh my God, I'm not going to tell.
Sorry, go on.
No, I got a toilet, so I'm not going to tell it. It's just too. It's literally too much.
Horrifying.
It's too much. I can't. It's so bad. I'm not going to tell it. Go ahead.
So, that allowed me to fall more into like things that are happening politically, and people are not even politically, like people's arguing online, because that's my entertainment, and that's foolish of me again. Where people are yelling at other people because Deadpool and Wolverine's out.
Right.
So yeah, I'm watching people like argue online, and Deadpool and Wolverine is out, and everybody's like loving it.
Well, I just saw it.
Part.
Did you see it?
I have not seen it.
All right, I just saw it on. We went and saw it on Saturday. The kids slept over at my brother's, and we went out to see it. And I mean, I'm not going to spoil anything, obviously for you especially, but for the listeners too. But I thought it was good, but I was underwhelmed.
Well, first of all, it's a writer's strike movie. It is a writer's strike movie, so
how so?
You would expect. It was being developed during the writer's strike. It was affected by it was affected by the writer's strike.
Okay, I didn't realize that. Right.
And even then, the premise of the movie wasn't like the deepest. Like, this movie was essentially written by Ryan Reynolds when all the writers actually, he was contractually obligated to not write, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
But regardless, but funny enough, you mentioned not spoiling the movie at all. It's because I'm like, okay, the movie's been out for 2 fucking weeks as of like not today, but as of this week. It's been out for 2 fucking weeks. That is long enough for people to talk about spoilers. People bring stuff up on Instagram, and I'm betting on Facebook and YouTube all over the place, and I'm not bothered by it because I could not or did not take the time to go see it. I feel like 2 weeks is a gracious amount of time.
So you're saying it's your own fault if you haven't gone to see it?
Yeah.
That's fair.
If you're incapable of seeing it, I'm sorry. How are you incapable of seeing this movie, but you're capable of being online in the spaces where people want to talk about it? Because
Sure.
the social part of social media is to talk about current things, and by the time you get around to watching the movie, it's not going to be current anymore. That's like
No, I agree with you.
if I don't buy a game and everybody's talking about it, it's my responsibility, my personal responsibility, to avoid those spaces where people are talking about it.
I 100% agree with you. You're absolutely right. I mean, as soon as a movie like that's highly anticipated and everybody wants to know what happens and everybody's going to want to talk about it comes out, you have to know that people online are going to be talking about it. It's really funny because I was able to, and I did it myself. I policed myself online to avoid spoilers, and I did. I did avoid spoilers. Everything. I didn't. Except I checked the IMDb credits myself, so that's spoiling it for myself to see who was in it. And there was, nothing major. I didn't spoil anything major by that. I really just wanted to know who played Lady Deadpool. Like, I didn't give a fuck. I just wanted to know that. So that's what I checked. And other than that, but it's funny. After I saw it in my Google News feed, there were 2 or 3 minor spoilers that came up that I would consider spoilers for the movie. So, like, stuff like that, though, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's really hard to avoid, like I open Chrome and there's a bunch of articles just sitting there.
That's just sitting there. Now that
because Google knows what I like.
Now, the spoiler thing, I feel like should be to critics and journalists.
Yes.
I feel like that, and again, the grace period of 1 to 2 weeks, I feel it's fine. Again, I feel 2 weeks is gracious, but that grace period is fine to me.
Well, even with journalists and stuff, I think it's fine as long as they put a spoiler warning at the top of the story.
Well, that's what I mean. When I mean by talking about it, I mean not just not talking about it, but giving a spoiler warning.
Yeah, just label it spoiler free or spoiler warning.
Yes,
that's it. That's all you got to do. I
completely agree with.
Yeah,
and just these entitled little pricks in the comment section going, spoilers? Oh, you know what? I think I'm going to unfollow you because I'm so sick of you spoiling XYZ.
This is I got a great story about that leads into that. All right. My wife's best friend has this. I hate gossiping about other people. Anyway, my wife's best friend has this guy she's seeing, and she mentioned to him that Robert Downey Jr. is going to play Dr. Doom.
Dr. Doom? Yeah, that's a whole other thing.
He got legit pissed at her because he said it was a spoiler. He was legit mad. I think
he announced it at Comic-Con, wasn't it?
I know. I think
what the fuck are you talking about?
Maybe he thought it was from Deadpool and Wolverine, like it was a spoiler from the end credits or something like that.
He was geared up to be mad about it. He was just geared up about any news. Like, fuck that.
I was like, oh, so he was giving her a hard time. He was like, no, my wife said no. He was legit mad, like angry with her.
Oh my god, what a fucking child!
It was like he announced it to it. It's not like it was a big secret. He announced it to the world. It's all over the news. Yeah. Which we can talk about how fucking stupid that is. I don't know how you feel about it.
I think it's one angle. No, okay, no. Go ahead. Just.
Oh no, I think it's fucking dumb that they're bringing him back into the Marvel universe after he spent 10 plus years as Iron Man, has become this character and is just everybody's going to consider him this character forever, and now you're bringing him into the same universe as a completely different character. Unless, I don't know what you were going to say, unless this ends up being a Tony Stark variant.
That's what I think they're going to do.
That's
exactly what I think they're going to do.
All right, so that's the only reasonable way I can see them doing that. But that means they're still bringing Iron Man back after killing them all. It's still stupid.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Without bringing him back, they're bringing him back.
Yes.
But then I was just like,
I mean, motherfucker did Doolittle and was like, oh shit, I need that Marvel cash.
Soon as he revealed his face, and mind you, I didn't care about the Tony Stark death. I honestly was so burnt out by Marvel by the time Endgame happened that I didn't give a shit.
I was in the same place.
Did he have to die?
I remember
it feels like he didn't have to die.
People in the theater being like,
yeah, oh my people God. Cried.
And I was just like, okay.
I'm just like, I was like, first of all, when Peter Parker turned to dust, it was like, oh man, that hurts so bad. I'm like, you do know he's coming back.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
we know
There's
this is
another
gonna
movie.
fucking happen, right?
There's already a third movie in the forecast. He's
Like-
gonna be back.
Yeah, like, we knew what was happening.
Yeah, I know.
It's not like in the comic books is heart wrenching, at least back then, because there was no preview to what was gonna fucking happen next. But the gossip train moves on so frequently and so much. Well, the Hollywood media train or whatever we want to call it
Right.
moves so frequently that we know what's going to happen, what they're planning, because the showrunners or movie runners, whatever they're called, Feige's and whoever, can't help but tell everybody what they're going to do.
No, they can't. They're like, it's like they're edging themselves the whole time. They're like, we're just gonna we're gonna tell people. We're gonna tell people just a little bit. We're not gonna let them go all the way. We're gonna just give them a little bit.
And so, like, some of the surprises in Deadpool and Wolverine were actually surprises that most people didn't fucking know, which you saw, so you know what I'm going with.
Yeah,
and I'm not going to do it only because I don't really feel I don't have the energy to get bitched at about spoilers.
You know what?
I don't give a shit.
We can just give a spoiler warning if you don't give a shit.
The fact that Wesley Snipes
warning?
showed the fuck, the fact that Wesley Snipes showed the fuck up, everyone was just like, "What?" Even I, in my house, I saw it. I went,
"Yep!"
Like, I freaked the fuck out. That was so dope.
Having Elektra,
Elektra showed up.
Blade,
fucking Channing Tatum finally
as Gambit.
Finally as Gambit. Fucking
all those, all three of those were
correct.
No, he did. It was okay, but
I think he did it right. I think he did a great job.
I mean, there's a joke in the movie where Deadpool goes, "Who the fuck was your dialect coach?"
Yes, because he keeps making fun of it. But the thing is, it's not. Okay, so people when they hear it, they're like, "That's not a real Creole accent." Like, no, that is a real Gambit accent.
Yes,
you don't understand. His accent is so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, that's true. His accent is ridiculous.
For him.
Nope, you're right. You make a good point. But the three
worst
of them showing
thing to
up,
me about Gambit was his eyes. That's the only thing that upsets me in his design. And that's me being a nerd.
Why? Because he didn't have pinkish eyes.
He didn't have no, because Gambit has black eyes with red irises.
Right. That's what I meant.
He doesn't have that. At least from what I've seen, he doesn't have that in the movie.
No, he doesn't.
And I'm like, that's like, I get it. At least we got the suit accurate. But that's me being a nerd.
Yeah.
That's not me like really caring.
All of the jerk off moments in the movie were not spoiled for me, so I was like, but the three of them popping out and X-23 popping
and
out.
X-23, okay,
was all great. They did a great job.
She was going to be in it, but I'm so happy to see her.
But they did such a nice job with when they introduced. When they introduced those four, and he made jokes about like, where's Daredevil and where's I forget who else. And like they make jokes.
What the movie is.
Played them all. The whole movie's fourth wall breaking.
That's literally what the movie is.
Like more than the other Deadpool movies.
Like the movie is literally okay. Anime fans generally know what this is a fan service episode.
Yeah,
essentially
that's
all
what
it is just. It's jacking you off the entire time.
Well, do you know what the end credits were?
With your nostalgia, I actually saw a clip, but I didn't click on it. I saw a thumbnail for the clip of it, so I totally missed it.
All right, you not want me to tell you then? Well, there's two. It's not even really. It's not even really.
Don't care. Again, I ultimately don't care.
So look, there's an end credit scene, which I won't spoil, which goes along with the movie. But all they actually do is the mid credits thing. They play a bunch of behind the scenes from all of the Fox movies, all the different behind the scenes shots with "Time of Your Life" by Green Day playing over it. It kind of gets you a little teary eyed, but it was really a farewell and a fan a thank you to all of Hey fuckers. We did all these great Marvel movies before this MCU shit came around. They were great movies. Go watch them. We want to give credit to all these movies that came before the MCU, and essentially, like, I guess this is the end of the Fox universe.
Yeah,
to a degree.
essentially.
I mean, there's
I
a
think they're
Venom
going to
movie
pull
coming
back.
out. I
They're
think
going to.
Venom.
I still think but he's still part of that multiversal shit too.
Well, so here's the thing that pissed me off about the movie: the lack of MCU involvement. Like the only overall overarching connective tissue to the MCU was the TVA, and I didn't feel like that was enough. I felt like it was like it wasn't like Spider-Man so deeply integrated in the MCU, and I don't know, maybe in the future Deadpool will be in MCU movies and it'll be way more integrated. I just didn't feel like it was
they were going to do that. I feel like they were going to do that. They were going to integrate it more. And again, I think the writer's strike really fucked up a lot of things they could have done.
I mean, the TVA is a significant part of the MCU in that it's what the whole Loki 2 seasons is based on, but it doesn't really play into the rest of the MCU itself. So that's why I didn't feel like it was good connective tissue.
But the thing is, the MCU has been having a major issue recently with connective tissues. Yeah, like everything isn't like they either want to make something purely connect. They either want to make something purely connect, or have it have nothing to do with anything.
I mean, Deadpool does the movie.
They can't find a sweet spot.
He's like, man, the Marvel's movies really have sucked ass lately. Like he does a whole bit about how bad they've been.
Like I saw people, they were judging like Henry Cavill, and I was like, I mean,
why?
It was fun. It was a funny cameo, and the fact because he was a rumor. It was simply because he was a rumor, and since Henry Cavill's such a nerd, he was willing to do it. But I'm like, first of all, he didn't look like Henry Cavill. He was only in it for like less than 15 seconds.
Yeah, I didn't care at all.
I mean,
I was just
you
like,
could say he was
it's Henry
iconic
Cavill.
Wolverine, and I do have one gripe, and I kept looking at it, and I understood why it annoyed me, but there's too many people online that just, again, become dismissive of people getting annoyed by certain things. It's like, wow, we finally got a comic accurate Wolverine. It's like, no, we got a comic accurate Wolverine suit. A lot of you people grew up with Hugh Jackman being your Wolverine forever, but most of us remember, like, who are comic book fans, really like short, ugly Wolverine. Like, he's an unconventional looking character.
There is a joke about short Wolverine in the movie.
Yes, but he's like he's not short Wolverine. He's literally a munchkin. Like he is like a human action figure. And Wolverine's 5'3".
Looks like it.
That's No, he is shorter than 5'3".
No, I agree, but I think that they meant it to be 5'3", but you're right. To me, it looked like a munchkin.
No, he was so he looked like a hobbit. He looked like a hobbit. Like that was the way they did the camera. Like that's what they did.
I personally think that other than that, it was pretty comic accurate. I mean, the way he moved, the way he talked.
He was great. Hugh Jackman is going to be great Wolverine. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying that when people go, well, no, you got your short Wolverine. It's like, I got my brown suit Wolverine. I got my future Wolverine. Holy shit, that looked just like the comic. It was dope.
Yeah.
With the Age of Apocalypse Wolverine.
Yep.
We got Patch down to a fucking T. That was Patch.
Yep.
But when we got to short Wolverine, I get the joke, right? But you could have CGI'd Hugh Jackman to be big.
They must have needed
to make him short.
They must have needed the proportionality to be so so different,
disparaging that nobody wanted it.
No. I think they just needed it to be so obvious that this was short Wolverine, and maybe if they made him 5'3", it wouldn't have been as obvious. It would be a little, wouldn't be quite as noticeable.
Because again, I'm 5'6". That's not much taller than I am. I am not so miniature that I have to hop off of a stool.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It might not have been obvious enough.
He was way smaller than, he was like 4'2". Not 4'2", yeah. That's an exaggeration.
Well, no, you could be right. But I think they did that so people...
super small.
I think they did that so people would get the joke. Like, oh, look, it's a small Wolverine. But yeah.
And it's just like... And the fact that everybody in the bar laughed, but it's the universe in which he existed in, so they wouldn't have necessarily even paid him any attention unless they were already fucking with him. Like, it was just... so on the nose for that scene, for him to be small. It was like, oh, we're making fun of the fact that the character doesn't look like Hugh Jackman.
I will say the movie was deliciously violent. It was so fucking violent and full of gore.
Which is what we all wanted, the yellow suit. We all wanted the violence. Because
It was so
you can
good
say all
though.
you
There's
want.
so much
Deadpool
violence.
was such a side character. Deadpool
Yes.
was such a side character in his own movie because
Yeah.
this movie was really about we finally got Wolverine.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
what
I
the
agree.
movie became. Nobody talks about Cassandra Nova. The girl probably did great. She seemed fun in the scenes she was in. She was nutty,
good.
kind of.
Yeah, she was good.
The fact that Human Torch shows up and he's a complete chode. The
It's so-
entirety of his
they do such a good job
show on
of
it.
completely snapping your neck about it. What's
Yeah.
what's the phrase I'm looking for?
Yeah, it was
They
not red herring. They pulled the rug right under you. They're like,
Yeah,
oh man,
totally.
Captain America, and it's not
Yeah,
him.
totally did a great job of setting that up, and I was like, oh shit, that's great.
Which I'm glad for the people who didn't know him as
But-
Johnny Blaze, because I don't
You
know if you
should've-
had the same problem. Did you have to transition your mind into him being Captain America when he was first announced as Captain America? Because for me, I had a hard time at first, and then I watched the
no.
movie. I was like, I loved him in the movie.
No,
I couldn't
because
get my head around the guy from Not Another Teen Movie being Captain America.
I didn't have a hard time with it.
Okay, I did.
It was okay with me. I didn't have too much trouble. But if you paid attention, he's got the New York accent. So you you almost should have noticed ahead of time because it didn't quite sound right before
and he was cussing. Remember, he was.
Yeah.
And Deadpool
so
was even
good.
like, "What?" But
He's like,
I like that.
It's him. It's the one. And I thought it was going to be.
He's gonna say it.
But they set it up so well because he's like, it's the one, it's him, and you're like, oh, it's not going to actually be him, and then it is, and you're like, oh shit, it is Captain America, and then they just pull the rug out from under you, and it's not. So they did a really nice job with those things. You're making me think I like the movie more than I originally thought. Now,
and well, one thing I like about movies that I think Deadpool and Wolverine probably did, and this is why I want to see it so bad for everything I've seen. It looks like all the actors had fun.
Oh, they had to have fun.
When you watch a movie where the actors themselves seem like they're enjoying the film that they're in, it literally comes off that way, especially in a junk food film. Superhero films are junk food films for the most part, and Deadpool and Wolverine absolutely is one. But the fact that you look at Chris Evans, soon as you see him, you know he's enjoying himself.
Oh yeah,
he did the same. He was the same way when he was in Scott Pilgrim. When you saw him, you could tell he was fucking enjoying himself.
No, I agree.
And that matters. Ryan Reynolds was going to be Ryan Reynolds. People are like, well, he's being Deadpool. No, he's being Ryan Reynolds. The same thing going back to the Doctor Doom Iron Man thing. The reason why people are so pissed off about the Iron Man Doctor Doom thing is simply because, like you said, he's so integrated with the character. Robert Downey Jr. was initially just a fan casting. That's all he was. Iron Man didn't act like him. I think during the time of his fan casting, Iron Man was just an alcoholic. And Robert Downey Jr. was in rehab at the time.
Yeah.
I think he was in jail. He had just gotten arrested. When the fan casting happened. But when he got selected because of the fan casting, they took a chance on him. They changed Iron Man's personality 100% to fit RDJ. Like, to the point that any cartoon, any game, the comic books all changed his personality to match him. When Heath Ledger played Joker, and they fucking changed the Joker up for years in the comics and everything to try to fit that character, the Agent of Chaos Joker, that he never really was.
No, I agree.
Literally,
you're right.
He wasn't an agent of chaos. He was just chaos. But now, and the Clown Prince of Crime, and he was always goofy. But then once Joker went, I'm an agent of chaos, everybody was just like, that's what he is. And the same thing with Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. So now we're gonna with the change of him, I don't like it, mainly because it feels like it's just lazy. It doesn't feel.
It does
like
feel
there's
very
any
lazy.
Imagination behind it.
It feels like
so.
It feels.
How's it going?
I mean, I wanted to make a parallel to Deadpool versus Wolverine and Wolverine. I keep saying versus because I'm used to it being
Yeah,
that was the
it's a
comics.
versus bullshit.
So it
thing.
was always a versus Wolverine
Deadpool
versus
v Wolverine.
I mean, I have the card set in my closet from when I was a kid of all the Wolverine versus series, Hulk versus Wolverine,
Yeah,
Sabretooth versus Wolverine. Anyway, but yeah, the idea in the movie is that Wolverine was the anchor character for that universe.
yeah,
Like, and they kind of make a joke of it of since Wolverine's gone, the universe is dying. And it's kind of a parallel for the Fox universe, right?
yeah.
But it's almost the same with Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. Like they took Iron Man out of the MCU, and it's kind of faltered since then.
It is exactly what's happening. And to
So
the people
they're
who
like,
love Marvel,
it's almost like they're taking their advice from their own movie, Deadpool and Wolverine, and going, we need to get our anchor character back into the universe to make it survive.
I think that's what's happening.
So
they're going to anchor it on, because the next few films from what I hear are going to be taking place in War World. And that's a big comic thing where Doctor Doom basically took aspects of different universes of the Marvel world and slapped them together.
I mean, we do have to be fair and give them the benefit of the doubt, knowing that they had a plan for these movies with Kang, and oh my god, I can't remember his name now
because the world wants us to forget him. I was just saw an article on him yesterday.
I fucking love
he's
that guy.
He's a good actor.
He's a fantastic. Did you see Rocky 3?
You mean Creed 3?
Creed 3, sorry, Creed 3. Oh, he's so fucking good in that movie.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's so good in that movie. Oh my god, why can't I remember his name now?
I was just gonna say his name, dude. You just
Jonathan Majors. Sorry,
Jonathan
Majors. So they did have to go. Oh, we can't use him now. Well, they made the decision.
What are we gonna do?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, what are we gonna do?
He wasn't indicted yet.
Right.
But
right. So
regardless, you can't really. That was such a fishy situation all in itself.
Agreed. I don't want to get into that because I don't want to get in trouble for saying something wrong. Because I don't know all the details of the situation other than they were like they kicked him to the curb.
Apparently nobody does, yeah. But he lost his job, and so they had to which is fine because that Ant-Man movie was fucking terrible. So they really had to it
was pretty bad.
Rethink some shit. They were like Ant-Man too.
They were fortunate enough that the way that ended, they could just kind of eliminate Kang from the universe and just be like, okay, well, we're just not going to go with whatever our next steps were going to be to bring him back. I mean, they kind of left some holes open, but I think they closed the loop enough where people won't be too annoyed by it. I don't know.
Yeah, you won't necessarily need it. But yeah, just the Wolverine Deadpool movie, I am going to see it eventually, some point, because my wife and I were talking about it, and it was just like, we got to somehow find somewhere for the kids to go for us to watch this movie.
Just drop them off here and go see the movie.
And my son is going to be mad, but I'm just like...
there was like a 9-year-old girl there when we went to see it. I was just like,
so
this poor kid.
I'm fine with my son watching it. My daughter, not so much, because she'll start overreacting, and I get it.
Yeah, it's very violent.
But my son, he plays Mortal Kombat. He likes that stuff, and so. But where I'm concerned is it's my wife's mainly my wife's concern, but it's like any of the sexual shit. Well, it makes her uncomfortable.
There's a lot of that
Deadpool
too.
Deadpool being Deadpool. Right?
There's a whole lot of that too. I'm not gonna ruin the joke. Sorry.
Yeah, I literally have to buy the movie and edit it on my computer. And turn it into
dude,
what was that channel that had really bad? Well, I was about to say, what is that one channel that used to where guy was just hey, this monkey trucker over here.
It was like USA, any USA movie.
It was USA.
When they put them on.
USA specifically.
Yeah. They were always really bad on USA.
Do that.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, it was great. This monkey trucker. this.
Anytime Samuel L. Jackson was in a movie, it was over.
This flipping. These silly. Oh, this is going to silly. Yeah, it was terrible.
But so living life like that has been really fun. But somebody posted something up because on our political landscape, yeah,
I mean, we just did
Kamala Harris.
If you listen to these episodes in order, you're going to have released 2 episodes. The first one's going to have a whole bunch of political rhetoric discussion. That was the theme of our episode, but there's more to discuss now.
There's more to discuss. Kamala Harris is now running. We all know that.
Hey!
We're not behind or anything.
Kamala.
What?
It's Kamala.
Is it Kamala or Kamala?
It's Kamala, you racist piece of shit.
No. Before you fucking... There's a comic book character who is Indian named Kamala Khan. Not Kamala Khan.
I know.
Kamala
She's
Khan.
Miss Marvel, I know.
So my problem with pronouncing it...
This is the problem with her name.
Strictly comes from my initial...
No.
It's spelled the same way.
No, this is the problem with her name. It's typically Kamala. I mean, that's typically what it is. She just pronounces it... I'm sorry, typically Kamala. I can't even get it right in my head. It's typically is Kamala, and I have the same association with you. I think of Kamala Khan. But hers
Kamala Khan,
hers is Kamala. The emphasis is on
Kamala.
The first syllable.
Here I thought I was saying it right the whole time.
Dude, I said it wrong. I've said it wrong so many times, but again, it's not. I'm not trying to do it wrong like Trump. I'm not up there going,
yeah.
Kamala here. We got Kamala.
Yeah.
Kamala, the terrorist.
He questioned if she was black or not. So it's like,
today
she was black. Yesterday she wasn't. And leading into that, so like,
I'm just like, you can only be one thing, right? You can't be more than
that's what I'm saying.
thing.
Like, isn't she biracial?
She's half Indian, half black. Her father was Jamaican.
And I'm just like,
her mother was Indian.
And I'm just like, that's bizarre. And then one of my I have a friend who is biracial, and she's very right wing. But after the new rhetoric about them talking about race, I've never expected to hear this out of her. Posted this thing up on her story about how, if I want to identify as white because I'm Italian and black.
Yeah.
If I want to identify as white, but nobody cares because no matter what I do, I have to identify as black because I look black.
Yep.
But I can identify as white on Tuesday and black on Thursday because I am literally both.
Yeah. Oh no. John McWhorter had a great opinion piece in the New York Times about this, specifically discussing Kamala and both her name and her ethnicities. It's you should go read it if you haven't checked it out. But it's the same discussion.
Yeah.
It's you could be half white, half black, but you are identified as black. You don't get to pick that other half. Even Kamala is half black, half Indian. She's identified as black.
As black. Well, I was about to say, like, as a direct answer to those people, because I'm about to bring this motherfucker up that I met on Instagram, one of my new best friends.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, as a direct answer to that. So when you look at her, she's black. So why does she have to actually mention that she's black? Because she's constantly going to have to do that. So when you're saying, well, she's always talking about Indian, that she's Indian. Yeah, because if you look at her, your little racist brain isn't going to say, oh, this lady. You're going to say this black lady. When you mean this Indian lady. Because that she's now has to let you know that I am Indian. And then guess what? She's also, I am black.
Yep.
Like that those two things exist at the exact same fucking time, and she's not flip-flopping. If you want to use a term, and I'm afraid of letting any of these bastards use the term because they're just going to pervert it, she's code switching, which is a survival tactic that anybody of any, minority race in this country has to do at all fucking times.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Almost to the point that it's natural. That's
I can't even imagine.
Sorry to bother you. Yeah, the movie Sorry to Bother You, like the trailer, everybody thought was hilarious because Danny Glover was talking to the main character. Goes, "Oh, what? You never used your white voice before?" And it's like, "What?" He was like, he picked up his phone for the he was to be a telemarketer. Picked up his phone, and it's David Cross's voice going, "Hello, nice to meet you. Thank you for coming to," he's just speaking in the whitest voice that he has because that's called code switching. It's a thing to make yourself more presentable to white folks.
Or more assimilated
into
whatever situation you're in.
That's why That's why in movies, when we hear Indian people in movies, when they don't use the accent because it's offensive now, they have to speak with a British accent. It's the same fucking thing because now it's not seen as presentable to speak with an Indian accent. It's such a backwards racist thing.
If you're actually Indian, I think it's totally cool to have an Indian accent.
Indian accent. That's what I'm saying. But there's such a negative connotation to that.
You gotta pretend that you don't.
and mind you, a lot of this shit is internalized too by the way the culture works. That's why, and again, this isn't offense to like being a white person. Most white people I know, being no matter how good their intentions are, they all have main character syndrome. And it's literally by nature of the culture. You're a victim of main character syndrome.
I'm a victim.
So
of main
you are the
syndrome.
default. You're the.
I'm the default character in my world. Isn't that true for everybody though? But,
no, that's not. That's the thing that white people don't tend to understand.
Really? Doesn't everybody think of themselves as the main character?
No.
That's terrible.
Not at all.
I would never want to think of myself as secondary in someone else's world. I'm an NPC.
And mind you, that's not talking, and I'm talking about on the racial landscape, not in like an actual in my family, I'm the head of my family thing.
What's right and what's wrong?
So in the racial landscape, I'm sorry.
Should I not feel like I'm the main character in my story, or should everybody else also be able to feel like they're the main character in their story? Or should I feel like an NPC? No, I feel like everybody should. Oh my god, I was just on the train of thought. There we go. I feel like everybody should just stop emphasizing it. That's it. In your own head, go, you know what? I'm the shit. I'm the main character. Things go this way. And then outwardly, understand that you don't fucking matter at all. It's true.
Because if you keep that inner dialogue, you won't kill yourself. If you keep that external dialogue, nobody wants to kill you. Because you're an asshole. Like,
good point. Good point.
But it's a clashing of survival instincts. Because I'm sure in a society that victimizes everyone else, but if there was no everyone else, they'd victimize you. You have to have a mindset like that. Because don't get me wrong, my criticisms of the natural state of white culture in America, that from my understanding, I understand that the rich white always victimize the poor and middle class whites. So the ones that kowtow to the rich generally are doing that because of survival. They want to be able to get in on that club.
Oh, sure.
That's really how it is. And that's sure. The European aspect of our country. Because as much as we want to act like we're not, we're European. Our whole culture is based off of European values.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I agree.
And so
I mean, that's why they call it Western, right? It's all encompassed as Western culture when it comes down to it.
So speaking on Kamala, so, you know, to talk about her race and whatnot. So this guy thinks he's being funny. Now, I wouldn't have commented if this wasn't like the fourth time I've heard this joke, and it's fucking killing me now.
Oh God, what is it?
He goes, let's be honest. With 34 felonies, 3 baby mamas, born in Queens, hates swimming, loves KFC, and was shot by his own ops, the only black person in this race is Donald Trump.
Oh, very funny.
Do you get the joke at all?
Yes, I get the joke, but it's not actually funny.
I was just, and I was thinking about going with the logical, like, wait, so you're just taking a bunch of racist criminals, and so that's why we like him?
That's just taking a bunch of racist tropes.
That's all it is.
To Donald Trump and making a joke. Yeah, that's not funny though. It's not funny at all.
But he's taking things that are true that are also stereotypes of black people to do that, right?
Sure.
So I had to reply, and with an eye roll emoji, because what kind of warrior I am. I go, yes, we get it. Your white hood is in the mail. This is all I had to say.
All right.
And
see, that's funny.
So there's this Kamala stan that I just don't. This person definitely seems unhinged. I said Kamala stan.
You know what? It doesn't really matter.
Really
I was
unhinged,
just busting your chops.
I'm not trying to be on her her radar or his radar. I don't know. They have a cat avatar, but I'm not trying to be on their radar. But this motherfucker, and mind you, I've been thinking this again for a little while, because I'm starting to get on this shtick with say it with your fucking chest. And I think I've said it in an earlier episode. Just like, if you're going to be racist, fucking say it with your chest. Just be racist. Don't try to be the good guy.
Yeah,
being racist is a bad thing. You know it's a bad thing, but you still have those beliefs. So fucking say it with your chest, right? This coward goes, no, just that Donald Trump is more relatable to a certain subsect of black people. A certain subsect of black people now.
That's his way of trying to worm his way out of the racist rhetoric. Well, and it applies to a certain subsect. I'm not generalizing it or anything. Fucking idiot.
Then a woman who up until 4 years ago claimed she was Indian instead of black. Mind you, she's both.
That's
and
not
spent
true.
her whole time at CA's attorney general, going out of her way, keeping young black men. Oh, he's using a blackism, keeping young black men in jail longer than they should have been. And then he replies to me, "It's okay, I'm not a Democrat." So he hand-waved what I said.
No shit, he's not a Democrat.
But didn't fucking deny the fact, because he also believes that, well, the real racists are the Democrats because they used to be the ones that, but like, you know, before
that whole argument about they're the real racists because they're the ones that split everybody into groups now. Yeah, no, I know that.
It's like, heard that you do know that you show that you lack any kind of critical thinking skills in understanding how society and groups work, right? Because you're literally part of the team that literally the guy said, there are nice people among the KKK. That is your side.
Yeah.
That is your side.
It's a good side to be on.
Me calling you a KKK member, although you are on the side that a KKK member would be on, shouldn't be offensive to you if you really believe what you're fucking saying, right?
Sure.
But instead, I was just saying that as if I was talking to him. Just keep looking into your baby blues and thinking about him. No,
I have green eyes.
I know.
Oh. Okay.
I know your eyes aren't blue. Okay. I didn't know they were green, but I didn't know they were blue. I knew they weren't blue.
Fine, fair.
My
eyes look puffy today.
I can't tell. You're really low resolution.
Oh, of course I am.
It's probably my internet.
No, it's probably mine.
You're just
Go ahead.
Like, as far as I can see, you're a bearded blob. Like, I could tell you have a beard.
You're not that bad on my end.
But this good, at least. I think you have better internet than me. But yeah, like, he literally went in, and then he oh my god, he goes, I know. And how many young black men have been jailed on trumped up charges as well? Which him using trumped up charges made me laugh so fucking hard.
You think the pun was intended?
Like, you don't understand what you No! It absolutely wasn't. Kamala made a living at Cali's attorney general, keeping people in prison who should have been freed. That's why Trump is polling in record numbers among black men and rappers like Kodak Black, Sexy Red, Flocka, and others endorsing him. And I go, oh, so you know you're a bad person. Good deflection, though. And did you just choose black celebrities that made their whole careers based off of exploiting black people?
Yes.
The fact that you don't realize that's what you did, it hurts. Plus, you're using the terms trumped up charges is absolutely hilarious.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
Like, I just, like, there's people, like, if you're going to be, if I know you're not going to listen to me because you're like, well, fuck this nigga and shut this off, but please just be racist with your chest. Like, don't hide behind an avatar. I'll show my face as a non-racist. Well, you know what? No, I am racist. I am absolutely racist. I am the nicest. I'm the cleanest amount of racist where I can get along with everybody but make fun of them by their race.
Everybody's a little bit racist.
A little bit racist. Avenue Q.
Yep.
OG. But when you are legit racist, and what I mean by legit racist is that essentially you border like eugenics in your belief system.
Yes.
The fact that This motherfucker brought up black men. He said black men and rappers. Because that's all black people are. When
To
those
him.
people
Yeah,
go,
to him.
when you talk about like racial disparity, usually when it involves that, and they bring up famous rappers as like, well, black people could be rich, and they bring up rappers, just shut them the fuck down. Like it's just so bad that that's their frame of reference to what black people are, and that makes me question any other race, like their beliefs on any other race. Like all Indians and Middle Eastern people are telemarketers. All Asians work in Asian food marts.
Very
All Koreans are from North Korea.
very astute observations.
All Japanese people, I don't know, jerk off radioactive bears. I don't know, but
Radioactive
like,
lizards.
Ah, damn it. But no, like it's just weird that all these people tend to think that their eugenics beliefs matter
Right.
to that degree, to like how the human brain functions. It's like, well, no, their brains are smaller. Yeah, then explain Neil deGrasse Tyson. And what if you found out you had some black in you then? Like, and it's absolutely ridiculous.
My
I see you're
brain
getting
is
distracted.
My brain is getting distracted. I just got an email from a client through my work email that says, "We want to move forward. This, let me know what you need to do." And I'm like, "Who the fuck?" I sent them a proposal over a year ago.
Wow.
and just never heard back. And then I get an email now. We want to move forward. I'm like,
it got buried.
What?
It got buried in a sea of emails.
I mean, okay, that's great. That's great. I always like new clients and more money, but what the fuck? A year later. I don't even know if my rates are the same at this point. Anyway, sorry.
But, to finish up the thought with the biracial thing, like they're bringing it up now. I'm just like, but Obama, you never bring up him being biracial. You just said he was a black guy and you didn't like it.
Right.
At least I think half the reason why they're bringing it up is because neither race that she is white at this point. Because you want to talk about how Jordan Peele is like this great, black voice, but Jordan Peele has said it openly himself. He's biracial. And guess what? If he started identifying as a white person, fine, because he is. He's both.
Yeah, well, I mean, with Kamala, I as far as this guy talking about her just now identifying as black, I don't ever remember her identifying as anything other than black.
I was surprised. I don't even pay attention to her, and I was surprised when she mentioned she was Indian.
Yeah, that's been a
we
recent...
assumed that she was black.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I remember her she was when she was the VP. It was the first black VP candidate. It was the first woman VP candidate. I remember people
making jokes about Biden choosing a female Obama. That's that was the joke I initially heard about her.
Yeah, so as far as I remember, she's always been black. Her bringing up her Indian background has been a new thing for whatever reason that may be. I don't know. Anyway.
And then these weak asses that don't want to necessarily sound racist, again, say it with your fucking chest. Well, race shouldn't matter anyway. Abso-fucking-lutely it shouldn't. But guess what? You guys ask for like if somebody's race matters. Like, she wants you to know that she's not just a black lady. And the thing is, you're just going to see her as that. Because you've been pushing all these black things. And mind you, the Democrats have been doing it too. Like, the NAACP and all these stuff want to, like, reward her and shit like that. Fucking, yeah. We all should fucking stop doing it. But understand that you lose your ammo too.
Yep.
Because you want to talk about how bad her policies are. But, again, where she was an attorney or a judge or wherever the fuck she was. Unfortunately, there's a lot of gang activity.
Attorney General. Yeah, she was attorney general.
Attorney General. There's a lot of gang activity in that area.
In California.
I'm currently watching a documentary, I think is Young Thug's trial right now. There's like 50 fucking dudes, and they're all black dudes, unfortunately. But they're gun runners and drug dealers. What the fuck am I supposed to say? And that isn't all people. That's literally people who are in a disenfranchised area that nobody gives a fuck about, so they found a way to make money. If we didn't fuck them over, so the fact that they're nihilistic into their adulthood, then maybe, just fucking maybe, if we didn't do redlining and all that bullshit,
Sure.
they wouldn't have a bunch of black guys being arrested. That's what the point is, but you're obfuscating it by looking at the symptom and saying, well, the symptom is the problem. No, the problem is you motherfuckers don't want to change anything to help other people, because that means that your station in life drops one tier lower. Sorry, I just got mad.
That's all fair. No, that's all fair. It all makes sense. You're making sense, and you're preaching.
So it's just fuck people, fuck the rich. I don't fucking people. All right, I'm
agree.
done.
You're done? No, you're right about everything you said. Nothing you said was wrong. Have you played anything good lately? Quick gamers talk.
Oh, holy shit! So I've realized I have Amazon Prime games. I did not know that that's how far Amazon Prime extends.
Free with Amazon Prime?
Mm-hmm. Every
was it
month
cloud-based?
you get a few new games. No, the game downloads onto your system. They let you download like 2 games a month or something like that are free among your list.
What do you mean system?
Well, system, computer. You could download the games on your computer.
Okay, so you download them and play them locally on your computer. I see. Okay.
Yeah. And there's one game that I guess slipped under my fucking radar, and I'm completely obsessed. And it doesn't look like the best game, but holy shit, it's amazing.
What is it?
Called Samurai Bringer. It's a weird name.
Just popped up in in the list here.
It reminds me of all the games I really loved in the 2000s, with the amount of how you can mix and match your combat style. So it's almost like management. It's almost like a management game until you get into combat, and you're like, okay, so mixing this and this allows me to attack this way. Mixing this and this. God Hand was a game by Grasshopper. God Hand let you do that, and God Hand was hard as fuck. I love that game.
That was my metal band's name before that came out.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
God Hand. Based on the Berserk
of course.
Comics.
The God Hand.
Manga.
Yep.
The God Hand. Yep.
Oh my god.
Anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, dude, I've been playing that for like the last 2 weeks. It's not a long game, it's a roguelite.
I'll check it out.
I'm gonna get to play it more, but I love mixing and matching the armor, the weapons, the items. Like, it's a really good and fast-paced game.
I'm gonna have to check. I just downloaded Amazon Games, so I'll have to check that out, because I didn't realize that they had such a not robust but decent library. I guess
decent
the word
selection.
I'm looking for.
No, they have a decent selection of games. They have some Neo Geo games.
Well,
like
I
Metal Slug is in there.
I realized I could just use Amazon as a library, so I had nothing to play. Well, no, I mean like literal, like actual Amazon.
Oh, literally.
I was like, I have nothing to play, so I ordered 4 games. I tried all 4, and I kept one. And I played Dead Space, and I 3D printed.
Oh, the remake. Nice.
Isn't this cool? The marker.
That
I
is
3D
really
printed
fucking
it.
cool.
It's fucking cool.
I love that.
So I played the Dead Space remake. I'm gonna print another one, so I'll give you this one.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
This one came out pretty good, but I'm gonna try printing one more, so I'll give you this one. I played the remake and was just as good as the original. Held up, was so goddamn good.
The remake is the worst thing. The only thing I don't like about the remake, and this is just a nitpick, is Isaac's face. That's it.
Oh, he looks like Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, I hate the way he looks.
It's terrible. He looks
so much.
I literally showed my wife last night. I was like, look at this guy. How ridiculous does this face look? And I was like, does he not look like Mark Zuckerberg? She went, oh, he looks exactly like Mark Zuckerberg. It's terrible. His face
weird
is terrible.
Lizard eyes, everything. Yeah.
And now I'm supposed to associate myself with this guy that's supposed to be in love with this woman. I'm like, he would never get that woman. He looks like he's got dead eyes. Anyway, yeah. God, he looks so bad.
Which is contradictory to the fact that the voice actor is phenomenal.
Oh, the voice actor was great.
Like, I love just stomping on dead bodies just to hear him like, you motherfucker. Like, to hear him like...
Did you play the remake?
Yeah,
Oh,
I had
I
on
didn't
Game
know you
Pass.
played the remake. I didn't know you played it. Oh, fuck me.
Yeah,
It was
I
on
played
Game Pass? I returned it to
Yes,
Amazon and didn't pay anything for
and
it anyway.
I think it might still be on Game Pass. I'm not sure, but I know Alpha
I
Protocol
thought,
is, and I decided I was going to play that too.
well, so I played through that. That was great. I started Senua's Saga.
Okay, what do you think?
It's very, very similar, almost exactly like the first game.
Like the first
and
one?
I know we talked about people complained about it being too short, but the first one was the same length. It wasn't really any longer. So it's
Yeah, I
been
didn't
fine
play
so
it,
far.
so-
It's been fine so far. I forgot Here's the problem I'm having. I'm playing it on Game Pass. The parry timing is so small. It's such a small window. The latency
wow.
is actually an issue. Playing it through the cloud on Game Pass. So I don't know that I'm actually going to be able to finish it unless I put it on an easier setting or something, because I'm having a really hard time with the parry.
Gotcha.
And I don't know if you remember the game, but parrying is like 90% of the game. Like you have to.
You need.
It's like parry, 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 parry,
parry,
parry, attack. Parry, 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 attack. Like you have to parry like 6 times in a row.
I remember it. Because I got really far in the last fight of the first game.
Yeah.
Only to find out that you're not supposed to win it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's always fun,
dude,
right?
I was doing that fight for like 40 minutes. It just kept going.
Hate when they do that in video games. I hate when they do that in video games. Because they should know there are people like you and me out there that are just gonna be like, fuck, and then reload their save. Fuck, reload the save. Fuck, reload the save. We're not gonna wait around to see what happens. We're just gonna reload the save. So and then I also got I'm gonna start playing through for the third time Cyberpunk, because when I played through Cyberpunk, it still was really buggy and really glitchy, and I really didn't do any of the side quests at all. So I'm gonna take my time and really enjoy that game and go through the main game again, and then play Phantom Liberty.
Do it with the Phantom Liberties. Yeah,
that's what I got.
Do it with the Phantom Liberty DLC. One thing, don't beat the game before you do Phantom Liberty. Get to the end, like the mission before the game locks out.
Right. And then do Phantom Liberty?
I think it's called Nocturne, and then do Phantom Liberty.
So don't complete the game.
I did it. Don't complete the game.
Get to the very last mission where it says this is the last
end
mission.
Of the game. Yes, because Phantom Liberty in the timeline of the game takes place during all that shit.
Okay,
it does not take place after.
All right, so that's what I'll do. But I figured, I'm going to start it again because I know you said it changes the gameplay. So
yes.
I figured,
all right,
God, I'll start over completely. I'll play through the game again, and I'll really enjoy it and take my time with it this time instead of just trying to rush through. Because it was so buggy when I played it, I was just trying to get through the game. I just wanted to finish the main missions.
No, I get it.
Get to the end and be like, all right, I'm done with it. So yeah, that's what I'm going to start tonight, actually. I'm going to give that a shot.
Okay. And don't expect no bugs, because I've ran into a few, but none of them were like game breaking.
Yeah, that's okay. It's when it's a game like that with such a big world and so much going on and so many missions, so many different aspects of the game. I expect there to be a little bit of a few bugs.
Like I think most of the bugs I run into is like there are items I just can't pick up because there's just so much shit going on. Things fall and I can't pick them up. So
So I'm doing that, and I also watched the Fallout series. Did you watch that?
I have not. I think I watched a little bit of it, but not like.
Oh, very good.
I had watched a little bit of one episode.
It was very good. Very definitely enjoyed it quite a bit.
My dad told me to watch it.
Even if you don't know the Fallout series at all, it's great. If you do know the Fallout series, adds a lot to the lore and to the canon and to things that were never
New Vegas
explored.
Is my favorite Fallout, so. Yeah, New Vegas is by far my favorite.
It looks like the second season is going into the Vegas area. So
okay,
maybe you'll enjoy the second season more, because that looks like that's where they're going. But anyway, you should check it out. It's good. All right, I guess we can get into our topic. Unless you got one more thing.
One more thing. So I used to borrow Netflix from a friend of mine. And I don't know what the fuck happened, but out of nowhere, I ended up getting access to his Netflix for like 3 days.
Wait, it just started working again?
It just started working again.
But only for 3 days.
I was just like, but it only lasted like 3 days.
That's so weird.
And within that time, I only watched one show. The reason being, there really wasn't anything on Netflix.
No,
Like, I thought I was missing out on a lot, but there isn't a
you know
lot
how I
on
feel
Netflix
about
anymore.
streaming services. Just get
Yeah,
yourself
streaming
a
services,
just get yourself a pirated media server and save your money and your time.
I'm trying to convince my wife. I'm really trying. Actually, the fact that her shows, she can't watch her show anymore, I might be able to convince her.
What do you have to convince her of?
She's stubborn and doesn't like changing. My wife is like a Republican. She's not Republican, a conservative. She's stubborn and doesn't want to change the cycle in which she's used to having.
You will spend less money and have access to everything. Like,
yeah,
you
know what? You know what it has to be? It has to be someone else's idea, not mine.
I've convinced so many people in my life to switch to this format.
Then please talk to my wife.
Okay, I'll talk to your wife
because again, it can't be my idea. It has to be her idea, or via someone else.
It's like not be mine. Hey, you know how you log into Netflix and then they list all the shows and then there's categories and stuff and then you just pick what you want to watch? Yeah, it's the same thing, except literally everything is in there instead of having to go to 8 different apps.
My wife has devolved into like watching a trial subscription of Peacock in order to finish her show.
Yeah, that's irritating. See, you can just do this for $10 a month or $50, whatever it is, $10, $15 a month, and just be able to watch whatever you want, whenever you want. So what did you watch?
I ended up watching an anime called Baki Hanma versus Kengan Asura, only because it's the most ridiculous bullshit ever. Yeah, it's 2 different anime slapped together. It was just the most ridiculous, funny shit ever. I was going to watch Axel F, but I didn't. I found out I didn't have access as long as I thought I would. I thought it just opened back up and it was going to be like, yes!
Maybe like they reset.
I was going to watch Axel F with my wife.
Well, because didn't Netflix put into place a bunch of blocks for people password sharing and stuff? Maybe they kind of like reset it for a little while and then recognized again and blocked you again. All right. Maybe that's what it was.
That's probably what happened.
All right. Let's go ahead and get into our topic. I hit the wrong button.
It's time.
I always do that.
To begin the complaining.
Okay, our topic for this week is hater haters. You want to introduce the topic? Or explain our topic?
So...
Oh, yeah. Opening that sweet seltzer.
People, especially online... Like, I think it came with the advent of, like, the influencer was just like,
oh, God.
And I think it was definitely a hip-hop term. It was just like, you know what? I ain't got nothing but love for my haters. Because without my haters, I wouldn't be here. Because if nobody's hating on me, I wouldn't have nothing. I wouldn't be able to get the motivation to get where I am today and some bullshit like that. But now... haters being used in this way that it's literally anyone who disagrees with me, anyone that I could just hand wave away because they hate me because they ain't me. It's like the weakest form of like defense. It's as if like you made a paper shield and that is what you're using to guard yourself. So assholes like Dr. Disrespect, who like admittedly like talk to children, which mind you, a lot of these people who get caught in like weird pedo adjacent allegations use this term. Right. It's just like, well, these haters are going to just make up shit and believe whatever they want. So yada, yada, yada. And so it's like, it's used. And I don't understand how anyone who uses the term hater has anyone who fucking listens to them after they say it.
Agreed.
And so we want to dedicate this to those people because fuck them.
Yeah. I don't even know where to start because it's such an annoying... It's just such an obnoxious and annoying thing to do. So I don't even know where to start. I really don't.
Yeah, it's childish. It is absolutely childish. No, it's childish. It shows your lack of maturity and the lack of maturity of the people who listen to you.
Yeah.
Because of course you're gonna have people who hate you, but I don't have to agree with you in order to in order to hate you. I can not have any opinion about you and not agree with you or what you do.
I can also not agree with you and not hate you too. You know, like that's the other side of it. A lot of people take anybody who doesn't agree with them and consider them to be haters and just go on and on about, oh, you take you're on a different side of the fence than me. Well, then you're a fucking hater. Ooh, blah, 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 blah. And Like
Yeah,
that
it's
that
like-
shit drives me nuts too.
Yeah, weren't we trying to lead away from like tribalism? And I know everything is like turned into this like weird quasi multi-armed tribalist movement. But like terming somebody a hater quite literally just yells to somebody, "Oh, this is someone that we don't need to listen to because no matter what you say, they're just going to go the opposite direction."
Yeah, that's a
It's
good definition
Maybe
for the
they
label.
will. Like maybe they will, but why not hear them out, especially if you did something that's clearly wrong? Like
Makes sense.
fucking Logan Paul has used the term. Jake Paul has used the term. Again, Dr. Disrespect has recently used the term. EDP445, who apparently has come back, if you don't know who that is, he's used the term.
He came back from his
Oh my god.
Different
Cyrax
thing.
has used the fucking term.
Of course, Cyrax has used the
Like,
term.
this is a bad... this is a really bad fucking term, and it's weak as fucking shit.
Yeah.
To be this weak pussy ass person who's incapable of defeating somebody else's point with actual logic and just going, "No, you a hater." Like, so fucking weak.
Well, I think it's just it's a defense mechanism too, because I think people they hear any sort of criticism of themselves or what they're doing or who they are, whatever it may be, and they can't deal with it properly, and they can't just adjust and just take it for what it is, and have some self-reflection and actually think about who they are and what they're trying to say, and take the criticism and learn from it. They just go, "Nah, you a hater. You're a hater." That's all.
Well, it's an absolute, yeah. No, it's an absolute refusal to learn from anything because the way you are is perfect right now.
You're perfect just the way you are.
Like,
I guess we don't have a lot to say about this topic.
Nothing to me is, yeah, well, no, but nothing to me is more infuriating than a big mouth coward. Like,
this is irritating.
If you're, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, just like you talk all this game, you get confronted, you cower behind whatever words or group of people that you've cultivated around you, and then you talk shit from behind them. Like, how does anybody think that you are worth listening to?
Right.
When that's like, you conduct yourself like a fucking coward, and then you cultivate haters. There's this one kid, this fucking live streamer. He became a live streamer as a child, and I'm going to actually look it up on my phone.
Oh my god, the internet's been around that long.
To cause fights and run away.
Oh my god, I can't believe the internet's been around that long. That there are live streamers who started as children and are no longer children.
He's a rich kid too.
Is it Ryan?
Oh, this guy literally, I can't find him right now, but he. Oh no! I think Ryan actually just disappeared. Maybe his show is still going on.
No, I don't know. I think his parents, as soon as he started getting uncute and fat, his parents took him and threw him and pushed him into the closet. Whipped out his twin sisters. Were like, "Yeah, hey, look at these guys. Is it great, right?"
Like, okay, well, there's this one, and I don't know if he used the term hater, but I'm sure he does. His name is Johnny Somali.
I feel like I've heard that name before.
And Johnny Somali he would go to Japan and just say really stupid shit. Like, he'll go, Hiroshima, Nagasaki.
Oh yeah, I know this guy.
We do that to you. Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Like, he's not funny. He's just, and he's braver than most of these fuckers, mind you. But, and only because he actually goes out there, he has no bodyguards, but I think it's just because he's stupid, not because he's, like, brave. So maybe I shouldn't call him brave. I think he's just more stupid. But, here's one who's used it.
He could be both.
I brought him up in last episode. Fucking Boogie. He used the term hater. Him and that pussy ass Keemstar both used it. Fuck them, because they're calling their own audience haters now, because they're mad that Keemstar didn't fire Boogie or faked going to fire Boogie.
Well, anybody that doesn't agree with them, if they, like you said,
cancer,
if they can't have a fucking logical argument or a logical conversation and put up some sort of reason or something with any credibility at all, that's what they're gonna do. They're just gonna resort to calling people haters because it's an easy dismissal.
Yeah,
it's much easier than actually having to
absolutely
have a conversation.
Well, first of all. Yep, and there's a literal like characteristics that are the same. Like they're the same type of person that goes, "Oh, look, my girlfriend and or wife is 20, 30 years younger than me. Isn't she hot, guys? Like you're in your fucking 50s. What the fuck are you doing?" That's not just Boogie, that is also Keemstar. But the people who use these terms are usually like this. They're delusional about their actual importance to anything. Like they're like, you may be important, but not for the reasons you think you're important.
Right.
Like I find you entertaining because you're such a delusional idiot. And then they always bring up their money. Well, I'm successful because I have money. That's how you that's the only way you deem success, right? Because you do not seem happy. So I guess I'd rather be unsuccessful and happy doing this show where I get to vent out the things that frustrate me in this show, and then I'm happy. I'm goofy the whole time around. Despite my mental illnesses or whatnot else going on in my house, this is a vent for me.
Well, that's why we do it.
And
it's complaining.
I have bad days, but I don't feel actively miserable. Yeah, I don't feel actively miserable.
That's a good phrasing.
And I feel like these people are actively miserable.
No,
and I could be wrong, but they try way too hard to prove not only to everyone else but themselves that they matter.
No, I think you're right. I think the fact that they try so hard is...
sorry, go on.
It's just that we have quite a delay, I think, a lag going on at this point. Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
There's nothing, they have no other recourse other than to, just push it off on someone else instead of just admitting that they are actively sad.
Yeah. So that's all I have to say about that at this point.
Yeah, it was a short topic, but we had a lot to say about other stuff. Okay. Yeah, we've got some like lag problems going on, so we'll end the show here. If you guys want any information, want to send us a message, again, if there's any issues with the show, with us transitioning hosts, you can always check out the website, and that is gonna come up eventually.
IWIHY.com.
That's it. You got anything else you want to add? And here's the lag.
Remember, if you're the type of person that believes in haters, there's no hater deeper and more hate-filled than yourself.
Yeah, you heard it here first, folks. Have a good one, everybody. Let's see if this actually starts.
Man, this life is killing me.
Yeah, it's really bad right now. But that's okay, because we're putting out 2 episodes at once.
Yeah, pretty much.